Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 5. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show starts with Ashley. We see Ashley. She is at a store, and apparently she and Mia are meeting there at the store. They're going to go shopping together. We don't see Mia and Ashley in scenes together too often. Ashley has invited all the girls to Austin, of all places. I mean, I'm sure Austin is nice and all. It just seems like a strange vacation destination place, but she says that she loves Austin. Austin's quirky and it's got all the feels. It's a vibe, apparently. So she's invited the girls. The girls are not really that excited about going because nobody really likes each other on this show. So can you imagine going on vacation with people that you don't like? How dreadful. Shout out to Dwight. Anyway, the only ones that look like they might be optimistic about this trip is Wendy and Karen. Everybody else, not so much. Also, Giselle is meeting them there at the spot because they're trying to figure out what all that they might need for this trip. Ashley is like, oh, bathing suits, some clothes to change into as the days go on. I don't know how long they're going to be there, but just your regular stuff when you go on vacation. While they're there, they also talk about the pickleball event the night, I guess a couple of days before. And not really talking about the pickleball in and of itself, but more so about the talk with Nneka and Wendy. Now, Giselle says that it's not right. If Nneka is lying on Wendy's mother, then that is not right. Talking about witchcraftery and all the things. Even though Nneka really hasn't really said much about witchcraft, it's really been the ladies that have talked about witchcraft. The two ladies the ladies that are not Nigerian. The two ladies that are Nigerian are just talking about this being shunned and I guess a shrine. Now, I don't know much about this Nigerian culture, so I don't know. The whole thing is just, it's tiring, okay? Because Ashley and Giselle and Robin and all the rest of them are the ones that have brought up this whole thing about witchcraft. They weren't even talking about that until now, Granted, Wendy's mom might be highly religious, holy roller, however you want to call it. But still, we haven't heard her say anything or call on anything evil. We haven't heard anything like that, So it's unfortunate, you guys. Anyway, do they think that Nneka is lying or Nneka is lying? No, they don't believe that Nneka is lying. They believe that Nneka is telling the truth and that Wendy is the one that is lying and that Wendy's mom is practicing witchcraftery and they don't like it. Well, Mia was confused. She was just like, and I'm where Mia is. I'm so confused by this whole story with Nneka and Wendy. I don't even really know whose side I'm supposed to land on. Okay? Because this episode especially really totally confused me about them. So we'll talk more about that in a second. But when Mia was just like, all the talk about the sister calling the cousin and all of that, I was like, girl, I feel the exact same way. But yeah, I guess throughout this conversation, they have decided that they believe Nneka 100% and that Wendy and Eddie are working with Wendy's mother for evil. At the same time, we see Wendy and Eddie actually go to lunch, okay? And after they order their food and their drinks, Eddie says it's 5:00 somewhere, they talk about the pickleball event as well. And Wendy tells Eddie that she feels like Nneka is trying to make her look bad in the group. I was just like, you think? That's the way it looks, at least from the outside looking in, from us watching the show. I don't know if Nneka... it's just clear that they've pit the two of them against each other. And it's worked out exactly the way that they wanted it to. Now we got Nneka and Wendy fighting over whether or not they knew each other. Like, is that really what we fighting about? Oh, no, I guess now we're fighting about Nneka feeling like Wendy's mother put a curse on her or something. No. Sure. Anyway, Eddie is confused by this whole thing, because Eddie is just like, I'm happy Eddie. Okay, I get along with everybody. Why is everybody trying to fight with them? Eddie says that he didn't know the man And I guess he just says that he didn't know the man. Now, when the producers asked Wendy, or, when they asked her in the confessional, Wendy was just like, yeah, they went to the same school, but it's a huge ass school. That doesn't mean that they know each other. Okay. But maybe you just need to say yes or no is the next thing. Because every time somebody asks Wendy that, she always says, she does, it's never just, he knows who he is, or no, he don't know who he is. It's always, they went to the school together, but they weren't. Okay, so it just seems like, because nobody wants to say this, is that Eddie probably knew who the guy was, but didn't know him. Okay, and but again, we'll talk about it later. Just off of the show on social media, it seems like maybe Wendy did know who Nneka was. Wendy started posting text messages between them about getting a BBL and all this craziness. I was just like, so they did know each other, but Wendy said that they didn't know each other. Did they know each other? I'm just confused. The whole show, the whole episode, it confused me. But it's looking like they did know who they were. They just don't know them. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to call her and be like, hey girl, let's go get something to eat. But even from the text messages, it kind of seemed like they did really kind of know each other. Didn't know, but they knew of each other. They even conversed with each other. So the whole thing is just silly and it's offensive. I'm tired of it. Now we see Nneka and her husband, they go to the OBGYN. And, she wants to get pregnant. Apparently she's put it off for some time, career and trying to get her life in order or whatever. And now she's 35, 36 years old, and she's worried that she may have waited too late because they've been having a hard time getting pregnant. So they just go to the doctor so they can, just check to make sure that both of them are okay. This conversation that she had with the doctor was an opportunity for us to see how she communicates with her husband. Okay. And I think we can see that she is quite the dominating personality. She obviously orders him around. Okay. I'm not willing to say that he's henpecked just yet, but we're going to see. We're going to see. It seems like right now that Nneka is the one that is wearing the pants in that household, because she was telling him what to do and he was doing it. So while they're waiting on the doctor to come in, they start talking about the pickleball event as well. And again, the fact that Wendy and them are tripping and all of that, and how unfortunate that is. She was like, I wish I could have sat down and talked to Wendy privately, because it feel like, we're getting pit against each other. And it was like, yes, you guys are. You even realize that. So why didn't you try to take the matter in your own hands? I think that maybe Nneka felt like in order for her to be on the show, she had to kind of go along with whatever they were trying to say the storyline needed to be. She obviously doesn't know the ladies and all of that, so she was going along to get along. But now you seeing it's just not a good look, you guys. Anyway, the doctor comes in and tells them basically that they're fine. They did check them. They checked her and him, and they're fine. They just kind of have to wait for it to happen. There's really nothing that the doctor can do. It's just, unless they, go into IVF or something. The doc and the husband was just like, oh yeah, we just need to do it more, And of course, Nneka told him to shut up. He was talking too much. But Nneka's frustrated. She said it's been 6-7 months. She hasn't gotten pregnant. She don't want to wait another 6-7 months for this to happen. Like, she's ready to get this show on the road. Now, jumping over to Mia, we see Mia and Gordon. They go to see a counselor. Mia says that they need to talk about the changes that are going on in their lives. And for those of you guys who didn't know about the change, you guys know that Gordon has been ousted from his family's business. And apparently they owe Gordon, at least Gordon believes that the family owes him $500,000, and that is what he is fighting for. Okay, give him his damn money. Mia says that the relationship has changed between even her and him because of this matter. He's so focused on trying to make sure that he gets his money. Mia kind of feels like it's at the cost of the family. Okay, Gordon's family, his brothers and all of them. Well, I guess now they not all talking. Mia's upset that he's so focused on fighting with them. I guess she's feeling like he's not really present at home, even if he is there physically. He's still worried about that shit, and she's feeling like that all of this is tearing their family apart. And she said that it had gotten so bad that she had decided to go to a divorce attorney, and Gordon said that he didn't know that it was that bad. So that's why now they're at the counselor, because now he's listening. He wants to try to fix things. I feel sorry for Gordon because I still hear there's like a hint of desperation behind his voice. He doesn't sound like the same Gordon that we have had in the past, with the confidence knowing that he has like this money and all this. I feel like he knows that his position in Mia's life is very delicate if he don't have any money. So now it's just like, oh, poor Gordon, because, you can just kind of see the writing on the wall. And Mia doesn't strike me as the type that's going to be the for better or worse type. If money is gone, so is Mia. And I think Gordon probably knows that too. So Mia starts telling the therapist about, what exactly happened with their finances. The man that was put in charge of their finances, once they found out that he was stealing and doing whatever improper things that he was doing, he ended up killing himself. As soon as she said that, I thought of Robin. I was just like, that sounds like the same thing that happened with Robin and Juan and their money situation. So anyway, the man was dead, and I'm assuming that means that the money that he was working on or working with or working through or whatever he was doing with this money is gone with him. Mia is telling the counselor how this was so upsetting for her, and she's just really having to really work hard to try to keep everything together, and she's tired and she's emotional. And Gordon was like, see, this is why he loves Mia, because he knows that Mia is like this super strong person, and that she goes through things and she's always worried about other people and never herself. He sees that as a strength that Mia has. And the counselor was like, but you're not listening. Maybe that's a strength that she doesn't want. Women don't always want to be strong. Sometimes we want to be taken care of. We won't have to be the one that to be taking care of everybody all the damn time and somebody call me strong. Like, that's not even a fucking compliment. Okay? I'm strong because I have to be, not because I want to be, so, that's what the therapist tells Gordon. And Gordon was like, oh, I guess Gordon never saw it that way. So I guess Mia feels like it's a burden. Like, I was confused even with this conversation, but it looks like Gordon wants to pursue getting the money and Mia doesn't. Do I have at least that part clear? That Mia doesn't feel like going through the big fight with the family and all that. Just let that shit go and let's move on to something else. Is that what Mia is saying? Maybe you guys can enlighten me, because I was a tad bit confused. Now, the trip to Austin is here. We see everybody getting ready. Ashley talking with the babysitter, making sure that she knows where her boys are gonna be. Robin talking about, this trip and how really she's not even looking forward to going, but, I guess she's gonna go. Giselle making sure that, she's leaving the oldest in charge of the other ones. The oldest is only 2 years older, I think, than the other girl. So, it's about to be a good time at that house, But anyway, she's making sure that they're all gonna be okay while she's gone. But yeah, they're about to leave for Austin. They all get to the airport, they all get on the plane, they all fly to Austin. Once they get there, Ashley has decided that she's going to put the girls in cars according to their astrological signs. If you're an earth sign, a water sign, a fire sign, whatever, she's going to put you in the cars in that way. So it just turns out that we had Ashley, Giselle. Was it Ashley, Giselle, Karen, and Candace? I don't know, but they had Candace and Robin was in a car together. Okay, I'm not sure if they were fire, earth, or water, whatever sign that they were. They were in a car together, and then we had Ashley, Giselle, Ashley, Giselle, and anyway, child. They had them the way that they had them. It was just to create even more tension. I'm just like, the producers of this show really want these ladies to fight, because they always force very uncomfortable situations, all the time on this show, all the time. Okay, they are always waiting for that reaction. But anyway, while they're in the car, and Giselle and Karen are talking, and Giselle asked Karen about Robin, how she feels about Robin, and Karen was just like, she really does like Robin. I do want to see her win. I don't think that you really like Robin, Karen. And I think maybe it's okay to just say, oh, she's not my favorite person, but Because Karen always says things like that, but Karen always has a particular jab for Robin. I mean, Robin always has a jab for Karen. Like, everybody always has a jab for everybody on the show. And they don't like each other. So it's just like, but whatever. Robin will lie. She lies all day, all night, even on a Sunday. I don't know why, Robin won't just come out and be my friend. I mean, look at me and Giselle. We will fight back and forth, but then we also have weathered the storm. The clock is still ticking. Yeah, but you and Giselle are just playing the game. I still don't think y'all even like each other. They get to the hotel, you guys, and when they go into Ashley's room, it's a penthouse. It's very nice. Everybody's like, oh my God. I'm just like, why do people act like, you guys are real housewives. You guys have been all over the world, basically. We don't need you to give us all this for the hotel room. Just go in there and sit down, okay? Once they figure out what rooms they're going to be in, for whatever reason, Robin also got another penthouse, but the rest of the rooms look like they was cool or whatever. And they all sit down, and Karen starts talking about this pie. Because when they were in the car, Karen was just like, I take the pie out of the freezer, and then I put the pie on the table, and I only eat half of the pie, and then I give the other half, and I put it back in the freezer, and I was just like, what is she talking about? The Karenisms that Ashley mentioned is just like, okay. So anyway, Karen is back on the pie situation. And everybody is just looking at Karen like, what are you talking about, Karen? But I'm taking the pie back out of the freezer and I cut it in half. So then the other half that's left, when you cut that half, so then you have the other halves, the two halves. Robin was just like, yeah, so that would be a quarter, but I'm just like, what are we even talking about? Robin was just like, Karen can take that quarter of a pie and shove it up her ass. So it's whatever. Anyway, the ladies all go to their rooms. They're all fine with their rooms. Even with construction going on, I guess Austin is a booming city. But the ladies are all gonna meet together, after they freshened up in their rooms or whatever. First we see Candace, Wendy, and Karen downstairs. Okay, they're just sitting in a little lounge area. I guess waiting for the rest of the ladies. So before the rest of the ladies even come down there talking, they ask Wendy how she is with Nneka. And Wendy, well, I don't know her from a can of paint. You do know who she is. Like, last week, I'm like, okay, so they was acting like they had never heard of her. They didn't know her, that all this. And now it's just like, no, more and more is starting to come out. Like, you guys really do know who each other are. You do know who she is. Now we saying you best friends? No. But you know who she is. You don't know her. I don't know why this has become so much. Ashley and Giselle come in. And Karen was just like, well, I just cannot ignore the elephant is in the room. That's in the room. When Giselle and Candace, when you guys are in the room together, Giselle, you become awfully quiet. Giselle was just like, we talked about this last week, you guys, but Giselle said that she's not going to talk to Candace because nothing good comes from talking to Candace. Candace says that Giselle is not talking to her because she believes that Giselle is trying to ice her out, basically. And if, nobody is willing to record with Candace, then they will take her off the show. The thing is, other people there do talk to Candace, so no, Candace's job is not being threatened or anything, but I do understand that Giselle won't be talking to Candace either. Like, I can see both sides, so I'm fine with that. Giselle don't need to talk to Candace. Candace don't need to talk to Giselle. I'm perfectly okay with that. Candace was just like, her family was the one that was in disarray over that whole thing. Giselle tried to say that her family was also, affected by that, and while it might have been, they were only affected because of you, okay? That's because of you that your children and your family had to go through unnecessary stress. So anyway, Karen was just like, well, her and Giselle have been through hell and back, and they've been able to make it work, so anybody should be able to. I think it's because Karen and Giselle realize that they are the faves on the show and that they have got to at least get along to keep this show moving forward. While they're all talking, we see Robin and Mia. They have branched off from the group, and they're just taking a quick little walk around Austin. And this was Mia's chance to tell Robin what happened with her. And she wanted to share with Robin because it was similar to the story that Robin had. Remember, I was telling you guys about her and Juan and the guy that killed himself. So she told Robin, and Robin was just like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Like, I know exactly how you feel. Like, this is a terrible feeling. And, you know, Mia's all upset and emotional and everything. And Robin feels bad for her. It ain't really nothing Robin can do for Mia. I guess Mia just needed the shoulder to cry on, and she didn't want to tell it in front of all the rest of the girls, even though, I mean, the rest of the girls probably eventually will find out anyway. Back to the girls that are sitting there. So now the rest of the girls is there. So Nneka's there, and so we have Ashley, Nneka, Karen, Candace, Wendy. They're all still sitting there talking, and then we had Robin and Mia out there. So the rest of the girls are sitting there talking. Karen mentions again that Giselle was very quiet even at the pickleball event, and she's not used to that. And Giselle was just like, yeah, because all the witchcraft stuff kind of was upsetting to her, and she didn't like it. Again, nobody said witchcraft. You guys said witchcraft. It's obvious that these people don't go to church, because when Wendy... Okay, so when they tried to say that the woman was casting the spells and saying whatever she was doing and all of that, and that she even talked bad about Mia, and all, Wendy was just like, no, I'm going to read you guys what she said, okay, because this was on social media. So the lady does do her little rant or whatever she says, but she's always said the Holy Ghost or Christ or something like that. I haven't heard anything. I mean, yes, is she considered like a church lady or something? Okay, we'll give her that. Okay, maybe she's like one of them people that's really super into church and all of that, but I still haven't heard anything where it seems like they would just be calling this with, you know, like saying that she was practicing voodoo or witchcraft. So they start going back and forth about that, and whether Nika's, you know, Wendy's mom was trying to put a bad thing on Nneka or whatever. And so then, this is where I really got confused. You guys will have to chime in and explain this to me. Wendy starts talking about Nneka knowing the sister. Nneka and the sister being best friends back in the day, or being best friends, but then had fallen off, like on and off friends or something. I was just like, so you say you didn't know her? You didn't know who she was or anything, but now you're telling me that somebody, actually a close relative of yours, was actually close friends with her. I mean, that still wouldn't say that Wendy would know her, but Wendy trying to make it seem like she don't know her 100%, never heard of her and didn't know nothing about her or nothing, is obvious a lie. So now I don't know what to think about nothing, okay? I can't even understand this, what Wendy and Nneka's trying to say about this friend and all of that. I was so confused. I was just like, so you know her, you just don't know. Like, why are we still on this? This is the reason why you guys are fighting? It's so silly. And so then the ladies are all like, Wendy, you know, you must, you know, Ashley saying that Wendy only wanted to be the only Nigerian on the show, you know, and that she didn't want Nneka on there. I guess because Nneka was going to take some of her shine away. I mean, it's so stupid. And I was like, I mean, I would think that Wendy wouldn't think something like that, but child, you don't never know. These ladies are so childish, you know. It's just like, you upset because it's gonna be another Nigerian on there? I don't even know if that's the reason. I honestly don't know why it's caused all this friction. But the ladies definitely add to the confusion. If Nneka and Wendy could have just had a conversation, they maybe could have figured it out. But when you have when you have Ashley and Giselle kind of weighing in on things, it makes it difficult, okay? And Robin and all the rest that don't like Wendy. And then there was even a point when Candace was even mentioning that Wendy was... Huh?
I was saying, like...
Somebody explain to me the L-E-B-E person. I don't even want to mistakenly say her name, because I don't know what it is. But when Candace was saying, like, you know, so the lady was at the party and Wendy had invited the lady at the party, but then Wendy is saying that she didn't know that lady was friends with this lady, but I don't know. Totally lost. I never watch anybody else's Real Housewives. I don't watch anybody's reviews of the shows that I review until after I've reviewed the show, if I'm even gonna watch. Because a lot of times I don't even feel like watching nobody else's review because I'm tired of even from just doing my own damn review, you know. But I probably should have watched somebody's review just so I can get some clarification on what they were even talking about. This Lebe person or the Leb person or whoever that was at the party that was supposedly friends with Nneka, that's close friends with Nneka, is also at Wendy's party, but Wendy's saying she don't know this lady. I don't know. Y'all have to let me know because I'm over it. I'm over it. All right, you guys, that is it. Let me get on off of here, get this edited and up to you. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm Roxanne. The channel is It's Rocks. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.